Right, Taddy's a rising 2-year-old Australian stock horse colt. And first of all, rather than just throw the bridle on him, I want to make sure he's all right with things around his ears like this. He was a bit fussed about that. So just get your rope, and what you want to do is just imitate what's going to happen when you put the bridle on. So my right hand is going to be between his ears, and it's going to pull the bridle over the top and then take it off again. Over the top and take it off again. And you want to repeat that quite a lot, so the horse gets really used to it and realizes that he's not going to get hurt, and the rope just goes over the top of his ears. Next thing you want to do is make sure that your horse understands to open his mouth when you put your finger or your thumb in there. Don't hurt the horse, just pop your thumb in and he will open his mouth naturally. You don't want to catch him with your nail or press or do anything like that. Next thing I like to do is to put something apart from the bit in his mouth first. And just there you saw me putting the lead rope in Tatty's mouth first of all. It's nice and soft. This is the first time the bridle's gone on Tatty, and he already knew to open his mouth, and I slid the bit straight in, put it up over his ears. You can see it's massively too long for him, and I always put it on the first few times like that. I want it nice and big, and I can adjust it very quickly after it's gone on. There's nothing worse than having to pull it up and squeeze the ears through. Quite often horses get rather upset when you do that and squeeze their ears through. Try always to push the ears forward and pull the bridle over, rather than jamming the ears underneath the headpiece of the bridle. You'll notice that I'm not attaching the lead rein to the bit at all. I don't want to put any pressure on his bit yet. First of all, I want him to trot around and just wear the bridle. Get a bit of a feel for that. I don't want to have it so low. I did adjust it. It's probably still a little long, but I don't want it too low, so I don't want him popping his tongue over it and that sort of thing if possible. It doesn't matter too much, but it's best if he doesn't. So rather than just walk around, I'm going to get him to do things. So you can see he's chewing on it a bit, having a bit of a feel. I'm going to get him to do some inside turns for me. Rather than just concentrating on the bridle, he's going to have to concentrate on me. There he goes. He's going to inside turn again. I'm going to move his shoulder off. Off he goes. Then I'll ask him to turn again. Now step across in front of him. Look at him, see he's slightly distracted because he's thinking about the bridle. And off he goes in the other direction. That's very good, and you can see he's even much quieter already with his mouth. So I'd maybe 5 minutes, do some inside turns for about 5 minutes until he quietens down with it. This is the following day. So far so good. He's being nice and quiet about that. It looks like I didn't sack out enough with his ears, did I? So he's got frightened about the bridle going over his ears. So don't fuss, just I bring him forward again because he went backwards. I want to start again in the same place as I began before. Now this time I'm not going to put the bit in his mouth. The problem with practicing bridling again and again is that every time you put it on and take it off, you do risk hitting him with the bit on his teeth. So you see I've just placed the bit slightly behind his mouth, and I'm practicing putting the bridle over his ears. If you don't think you can do that, take the bit off and just practice with part of the bridle, the part of the bridle that you think your horse is having trouble with. And quite often it is the ears. So now that I think he's happy with that, I'm going to try again and see if I can put the bit in and pop it over his ears at the same time. Again, move him forward. He's got a big march fly or something annoying him. If he walks backwards, I'm going to move him forward and start again. Put my thumb gently in his mouth. He opens his mouth. That's terrific. I push that ear forward and under the headpiece and the other one. And there we are. Now I'm going to tighten it up so that he doesn't get his tongue over it, so that it's in a nice comfortable position for him, which it is right there. And in the next video we'll be learning about give to the bit, which is what he's going to do next. These head collars are lovely because you can have them on when you're bridling and then just undo both buckles and slide them off.